Yes, my Straight Dog family, you hear that theme song, and you know it is time for me to say greetings to the world, because we are on the World Wide Web, and I reach and communicate with you wherever you are on the globe, on the worldwide globe, my Street Dog family. And we come to you from right here in the beautiful federation of two islands and one lovely paradise called St. Kitts and Nevis. So I am duty bound to say good night, St. Kitts, good night, Nevis, because charity, it is said, begins at home. And I must reach and touch you wherever you are in the entire Caribbean region. From way down south, we go even on the South American mainland to Guyana and Venezuela también, see. And we come all the way up from south to Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, and Grenada, Martinique, Guadeloupe, ça va bien? And next door here in Antigua and Barbuda. Montserrat, I haven't heard from you for some time. And we go west to St. Eustatia, Seba, St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, Anguilla. How is the USVI and the BVI, St. John and Anegada? And the St. Croix, Puerto Rico, también. And in fact, the entire Kittitian division and Caribbean diaspora. Some of you are in Africa, some of you are in Asia, some of you are in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning, and I will say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And for the first timers, we do have first timers, and if you are a first timer, we hope and trust that it would not be your last time. And we thank those who continue to share the link. You give us first timers, and if you're a first timer, like I say to my regulars, if you love it, tell the whole world. If you do not, come find me, tell me about it. But Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. In this program, we try as well to raise the level of consciousness with the national, international, regional, and also the level of discourse, national, regional, international discourse, by alerting people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And my Straight Talk family, I must remind you, and those who are joining me for the first time, I forewarn you, that nothing is watered down on this program to make it more interesting, neither by omission nor by exaggeration. We are not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts, as it is my duty to present the unvarnished truth, I call it, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance, transparency, and of course integrity, wherever you are in the world. in particular here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I say wherever you are in the world, because this program joins us together with people across the Federation and as well with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some we know very well, some we have met, and others we will never ever meet. But some of us will disagree on the positions of truth advanced on this program. And that's fine, because we are a different people, so we come from diverse views. Some will agree, some will disagree, but please, do not sad me and ever become disagreeable. But let's in the meantime thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, how pleasant and it is, how good and how pleasant it is, rather, for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks one more time for those who share the link. Don't you ever stop doing that, as you bring first-timers, and we welcome all the first-timers. And just to remind you as well that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your screens. There are some of you who like the cloak of anonymity, I call it. We give you access via our email platform, and that address as well is on your screens. It's one word, straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. We also heard live on Alexa. Those of you who have that Alexa app, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. Some of you have also made donations. We thank the owner of Massive Vibe Radio for giving us the access to that platform at a nominal cost. But some of you who have made donations, I was going to say, to support our efforts here on Straight Talk, for that I say a big, big thank you. I must also reassure you that no matter your contribution, don't stop, because it helps us to continue this important service. Yes, it's a public service. So others who may wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screen to access the payment form. It's a very, very simple process. In a matter of under a minute, I'm sure you can sort that matter out. So we thank you in advance for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. And we say a special welcome to the Straight Talk Junior Brigade, young Dwayne, Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Rue, Jamal, Travis Chavon, Neymar is up and about, and Soraya, I saw her a few days ago, doing well. And the special lady, I won't tell you about her, but she's somewhere. And how is the Texas Queen? But we normally have our observation in review, which is a highlight of our program. We highlight the current issues rather. We do some reflection. We ask a few questions. What was accomplished, for example, how it helped others, and what has changed since, and what is expected, and what new we have learned as a people. And my Straight Talk family, after our observations, we move into our usual thesis. And for tonight, we have titled that thesis, Federation at Crossroads. We need leadership with integrity. So please, therefore, do not change the platform. Do not change your link. Just spread the word that Straight Talk is live on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Alexa. And I'm going to just discuss one observation tonight, and a sad one as well. Because for a week or more, we have been following a complicated story, in parts concocted by some malicious people. But it's the story of a missing teenage girl, 15 years I think she is, we were told, whose mother I'm aware of is from my constituency of East Bastia, but who apparently moved to rural west of St. Kitts. Unfortunately, Straight Talk has learned that this young lady is still missing, this young girl, young child. Janelika, her name. Therefore, our hearts are with the entire family, and as a public service, we broadcast this public plea from her mom tonight.
Janelika, if you are hearing me, all I want to do is come home. If you feel like when you come home I'm going to beat you, go by one with family them. Go by somebody and let them to tell me that you're good, you're safe. I'd rather knowing that you're safe than to hear worrying. Since Monday I have not eat. I have not sleep. Yesterday on the walk, everybody's saying that I faint because of what I see. Up to yet may see nothing. Up to yet may see nothing. The police bring out a few items and I told them, I indicate to them that is not generical stuff. And I just fainted.
And yes, our hearts are with that young mom, whom I know quite well. And we are pleading, just like the mom of Janelika. Anyone familiar with the whereabouts of this young lady, young child? We ask to contact the nearest police station or her family or Straight Talk for that matter. Straight Talk can promise strict anonymity in the circumstances. But that's my observation in review for tonight, and I trust and hope that we'll find Janelika sooner rather than later and in good condition, we hope and pray. And we move right into our thesis for tonight, which I have titled, as mentioned earlier, Federation at the Crossroads. We need leadership with integrity. And my Straight Talk family, I address you tonight, my people, at a critical juncture in the life of our federation, at a time marked by uncertainty, by deep public concern, and by growing international scrutiny. The atmosphere in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is thick with anxiety, and understandably so. The source of much of this unease lies in a matter that has for years been both a cornerstone of our economic strategy, excuse me, and a source of national debate. Our Citizenship by Investment Program, the CBI. For decades, this program has offered a vital source of revenue, allowing us to invest in infrastructure, support public services, and weather global economic storms. And of course, we can remember that coronavirus-induced pandemic in 2020. Imagine without the CBI. But the CBI has provided an alternative path to resilience for a small island state like St. Kitts and Nevis with limited natural resources. Yet today, that same program finds itself under the harsh spotlight of international powers. We're now faced with serious warnings and potential consequences from global partners, including the possibility of visa restrictions to entry into the United States and the European Union. And these are not hollow threats. They represent a looming risk that could affect our people's freedom of movement, our economic stability, and our international reputation. This is not merely a political issue or a policy issue. Take that back. This is not merely a policy issue. This is a national issue. It affects every Kittitian and every Nevisian. It touches our students studying abroad, our business people engaging in global commerce, our families maintaining ties across borders, and our tourism industry, which thrives on international confidence. So we must ask ourselves, how did we reach to this point? What are the concerns being raised by our international partners? And most importantly, how do we navigate forward, protecting our sovereignty and economic interests while restoring confidence in our global relationships? The decisions we make now will echo throughout or through generations. They require honesty, unity, and the courage to confront hard truths. But I am confident that with open dialogue, responsible leadership, and a commitment to reform, we can find a path that secures both our national dignity and our place in the global community. Can we start that honest conversation when our leader just lies? Can we ever start an honest conversation when our leader just lies? My Straight Talk family, just like this one, big lie.
The last administration, when the then Prime Minister was asked about CBI, how many persons, I'm the only Prime Minister who was given these numbers. He said it's an industry secret. You cannot be doing citizenship of a country and say it's an industry secret. The people have a right to know. And that is why last December I gave the numbers so people can know exactly what we have been doing. That is why I've been so transparent with our people. Never again would it be said that the CBI program is an industry secret. It is not. It is the business of the people, and I criticize severely the former administration for hiding the information from the people. The lack of transparency and the lack of integrity, those things call a lot of things into question. But with me and with this administration and with this cabinet and with my colleagues, we are making sure that we stick to our principles of transparency and integrity, and the CBI is no exception.
And my Straight Talk family, truth be told, what is brought into question here is the integrity of the Prime Minister. Because in fact, it was Timothy Harris under the Team Unity administration who first provided the CBI data spanning some 10 years of the Denzel Douglas Labour prime ministership, my straight dog family. It was Harris who said this or brought this information.
As at the 31st of December 2015, there were 10,777 primary passports issued under the citizenship program. In 2005, 6 were issued, 2006, 19, 2007, 75, 2008, 202, 2009, 292, 2010, 664, 2011, 1,092, 2012, 1,758, 2013, 2,044, 2014, 2,329, 2015, 2,296, for a total of 10,777 passports. Mr. Speaker, who have been the beneficiary nationalities to our passports? The number of investment passports are distributed over 127 countries across all continents, with the Asian and European continents being the more popular holders or applicants to our passport scheme. Across that broad range of countries, the number of passports issued over the relevant period 2005 to 2015 ranged from 1 to 2,272 to any one country. Mr. Speaker, that is the data that for a very long time the country had been asking about.
And my straight dog family, we ask ourselves, why? Why would Terrence Michael Drew lie about providing the data for the first time? Why? Because Straight Talk will out him each time. We will hold him to the truth. Because this, no doubt, was a demonstration of accountability going way back to 2016. So how could Terrence Michael July fabricate like that? My Straight Dog family, one of our elders put it bluntly and brilliantly when she said to me, "These stories and lies that are told daily by Terrence Michael Drew taste like a scoop of poop in an ice cream cone." Terrence Michael Drew can dress up his lies however he wants, wrap them up in sweet words, add sprinkles of distraction, serve them with a smile or his usual ugly grin. But if the core is rotten, we can taste it, we can feel it, and we are tired as a people of being fed lies disguised as comfort. Just Friday, gone, Drew appeared on a program called The Edge on the government-owned radio and television station and lied about the construction of the new Bassi High School. When he said, my Straight Dog family, he said this about Bassi High School and not depending on the CBI. When he said this, I cringe, my Straight Dog family. He said this, I cringe. I really cringed for a moment.
CBI has been very, very fruitful for us here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The CBI has helped transform us. It has given us resources that helped to really advance our country of St. Kitts and Nevis. I think where we could have done better is that CBI income. We should have used it to diversify the economy. And what we have done? We have sought to get major investments that are non-CBI dependent, such as the building of the Bastia High School non-CBI dependent.
What a lie, my straight dog family. The Bastia High School non-CBI dependent? But do you forget that there's a CIU that publishes the data? And the Bastia High School, my straight dog family, is listed as a public benefit option under the CBI program. My straight dog family, since 2024, Citizenship by Investment Unit published on its website. It published on its website, my straight dog family, that Pre-Conco, a Barbados company, was the approved public benefactor for the construction of the new Bastia High School under the public benefit option of the CBI. It's on your screens, my straight dog family. Pre-Conco Senkis Limited, Bastia High School. And again, as I said, it was published as well later on. But you see, my straight dog family, we understand that Pre-Conco declined, and for some reason it's been offered to CIDC, that's doing the airport expansion. And we know that 1,200 shares were already approved by the CIU for the construction of the Bastia High School, which was estimated to cost some $100 million, my straight dog family. $100 million, as I said, my straight dog family. And at 1,200, that's $300 million. So we asked the question. We asked the question, in whose pocket? In whose pocket is the $700 million going? That's the question we asked. We have not got an answer. To this date, we have not received an answer. My straight dog family, we also looked at the budget, the 2025 budget, and the approved expenditure in the budget is very clear as well. It's pellucid, as my friends would say. In the estimates approved for 2025, strange but true, the Bastia High School is listed. As you can see, construction of the Bastia High School under capital expenditure item 1314424. The estimated total, $35 million, and only revenue approved for 2025 is $500,000. But that $35 million came over from the years gone by under Team Unity until Terrence Michael Drew and his cabinet decided to go to find the developer, and did so under the public benefit option of the Citizenship by Investment program. And as I said, lo and behold, Pre-Conco belatedly declined the offer to construct the Bastia High School, and CIDC has been given the option of first refusal. But while Straight Talk cannot confirm, my Straight Talk family, that it was accepted by the latter, in the meanwhile, a law firm by the name of Brooks was published as the new benefactor for the Bastia High School, my Straight Talk family. And that too, we can provide the evidence, as this is found on the website of the CIU. And I gave it in a different form as well. You can glean from your screens, my Stray Dog family, that the Basti High School now lists from John Brooks Law. Info can be gleaned from johnbookslaw.com. Whoever the hell is that, we don't know. But the fact is, my Stray Dog family, they announced recently that the Basti High School has started. What about the tender process? What about procurement? These are issues that must come to the fore and will come to the fore forcefully sooner rather than later. But remember as well, he told a lie. Terence Michael Drew told a lie about the airport expansion as well. That's his pastime. He lies like when horse, as we say, trotting, my grandmother used to say. He told this lie about the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw expansion.
Mr. Prime Minister,
Yes.
Sean Dixon, St. Kitts Nevis Observer. The Caribbean Infrastructure Development Corporation is advertising as the approved public benefactor of the St. Kitts Airport expansion project. However, no official communication has been made to the public about this partnership. Could you clarify the nature of the relationship with the government and CIDC, and the total cost of the airport expansion, the value or percentage of shares offered under the CBI program, and how this arrangement differs from the prison project that you previously opposed?
Now, with respect to CIDC, CIDC has what you call just the planning stage of the airport. I think they got a very limited number of shares to do the plan and the structuring of the airport. In the airport is about 60-something shares. 60-something at this stage. 60-something. Just for the feasibility study and stuff. Nothing to do with the construction of the airport itself.
What is 60-something, my Stray Dog family? That's a question we want to ask ourselves. But CIDC, as I brought to you before, is the approved benefactor for the RLB airport expansion. This you can find on the website of the Citizenship and Investment Unit. There's been no consultation, no information provided, no consultation with the general public, no information provided to the general public or shared with the general public. But we know from an authoritative source that 3,000 shares have been approved on that project, the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport Expansion Project. We are aware, and these things will come to light sooner rather than later. At some stage, Terence Michael Drew, they will come to light. And we trust if you continue to hide these and keep them as a secret, we trust that you will not regret the actions you continue to take. Because we deserve truth that is honest. As a people, we deserve truth even if it's uncomfortable. We deserve leadership that speaks to us like adults, not like children to be tricked. You continue trying to trick the people. And we deserve a narrative that reflects who we are, not what someone wants us to believe. I remember, and I'm sure you do as well, while trying to get into office during your time in opposition, you promised to subsidize the cost of living. You remember that, Terence July? You promised this.
We're going to make sure that your dollar can go further, that your dollar can buy more. And so we're going to temper the cost, and we're going to subsidize what we have to subsidize in the first 6 months. If no recovery in the economy, then we'll extend it. But you should not be able to go to the supermarket with $100 and can't come out with a good shopping. That will not happen here in St. Kitts and Nevis on the labor. We will control the cost of goods and fuel here in St. Kitts.
That's what he said in opposition. But he went to Barbados, my straight talk family. Of all places, he went to Barbados and he said this about the cost of living.
Just tonight, I was asked by the Prime Minister, your leader, what is the cost of a pound of chicken in St. Kitts? Well, of course, I asked my press secretary to take a look. And I reflected and wondered why the Prime Minister was asking such a question. And it's because I am thinking in my own mind that the cost of chicken might be going up and might be affecting the pockets of the people in Barbados. That's a possibility. And that is as a result of imported inflation. Of course, that is my reasoning as to why she may have asked that question. Could have been something different. But as I reflect on it, we in St. Kitts and Nevis are also facing the same challenge of inflation. People are now making memes that I used to go to the supermarket with $100 and I couldn't fit on a bus or put it in my car trunk. Now when I go with $100, the child can carry how much things I can buy.
Imagine that. Has he subsidized it? No, my straight dog family. Imagine Jew has come to office and he promised to subsidize the cost of living. He comes to office and the same $100. A child, he said, can carry your groceries. You remember when Team Unity took that off of food? People got $17 more in relish. Your $100 got $70 more in relish. In meat, my straight dog family, if you don't like to hear relish. But my straight dog family, from here onward, we say no more sugarcoating. And one of the difficulties we have, because there is no opposition. The opposition has gone to bed with the government. Mark Brantley is running the opposition as if he's a government member. And don't blame Mark totally, because Mark is broke. Mark has taken Nevis to the brink of collapse. He has taken the Nevisian economy to the brink of collapse with over $500 million in debt, public debt, my straight dog family. But remember, Jew with his communist Marxist orientation has neutralized Mark Brantley, the opposition leader. But don't forget, you planned that since in opposition. Remember he said he shot the sheriff? Yes, he shot Mark Brantley.
There's a man who came over to St. Kitts and he think he could lever him out in St. Kitts as much as he wants. But tell him, you know, the springtime crew ain't take that light, you know. The springtime crew ain't take that light, you know. The man come over St. Kitts and talk about his sheriff. But tell him, when the springtime crew done with him, neither he nor none of them got left standing, because it's one shot we got for the sheriff.
One shot he had for the sheriff. And Mark Brantley got that shot. So from here onward, we say no more about Mark Brantley and the opposition, except he must pay back the money he collects every month. That has to be malfeasance or misfeasance, one of them. my lawyer friend would tell me. But we say no more sugarcoating. No more scoops of dishonesty wrapped in pleasant packaging. We need real stories, straight, clear, and truthful. But some things have been bothering us besides the CBI, haven't they? Not just poverty, not just the roads full of potholes, or the promises that disappear as quickly as they come. Like the projects, my Straight Dog family, those projects on the way. You remember those projects on the way? Don't you remember, my Straight Dog family?
The capital project, I will say, let me go through them for you, if you don't mind. Smart homes, on their way. Right? On the way. The hospital, on the way as well. The school, on the way as well. The solar plant or solar farm, on the way as well. There are some others I will mention, not yet, but they are definitely coming on the way. We have about 2 other major investments. One will be an agriculture major investment that will also come. We have an investment for the port, airport, that is advancing significantly as well. I'm saying that when, in the next few months, I'm almost certain that we'll run out of construction workers here.
And we're waiting, my Straight Dog family. Where are they? Where are the projects? Where are these projects? It's something deeper. It's the way the truth has been handled, twisted, dressed up, and force-fed to us like a scoop of poop in an ice cream cone. Just last week, I told you about Dev Bat, whose agreement of US $10,900 per approved application continues under Terrence Michael Drew. Under Terrence Michael Drew, Dev Bat was paid US $110 million for the 22,000 applications that were finally approved under Terrence Michael Drew for the prison project. Dev Bat is a paid consultant of CS Global retained to advise and promote the CBI, we are told. We were also told, my Straight Dog family, by Freedom Radio, that broke the news. Freedom Radio 106.95 FM broke the news about Dev Bat's kidnapping allegations, my Straight Dog family. This was reported by Freedom Radio. The case listing confirms the Freedom Radio report, my Straight Dog family. Here is the case listing from the United Kingdom Court, my Straight Dog family. And you can see at number 3, the defendant, Gerdip Bath, also known as Dev Bat, my Straight Dog family. And I will hasten to add that a man is innocent until proven guilty. But there must be some special relationship between Terrence Michael Drew and Dev Gerdip Bat. Straight Talk has come to that conclusion because rational thinking would demand that with the pending case as serious as the matter I just showed you in court, one would think that Terrence Michael Drew would defer the appointment of Dev Bat as the SKN High Commissioner to India, because Dev Bat handed over his credentials just 2 weeks ago, my Straight Talk family. Would you believe this? Good or good it bad, my Straight Talk family, handed over his credentials as the St. Kitts and Nevis High Commissioner to India on May the 29th. And this is the naked arrogance of Terence Michael Drew, our Prime Minister, to appoint Dev Bat as St. Kitts and Nevis' High Commissioner to India after paying him and continuing to pay him millions of dollars from the sale of our passports. My Straight Talk family, let me conclude here tonight. As I said, we are at a crossroads. And I say this with no water in my mouth, to use a colloquial term. We must choose between two paths. One, we can continue down the current slippery road with Terence Michael July, risking isolation, economic decline, and loss of credibility. Or two, we can choose the harder, braver path: reform, transparency, and national renewal. That means reforming the CBI program from the ground up. That means establishing independent oversight. Yes, we heard of a regulator being arranged by the ECCB. But we need real-time international vetting and a commitment to full transparency. That means refusing to sell our national dignity, no matter how tempting the dollar may seem. And most of all, it means electing leaders who serve the people and not themselves. Because this is not just about a program. It is about who we are as a people. It is about what kind of country we want to be. Do we want to be known as a nation that sells its values to the highest bidder? Or as a proud Caribbean democracy that stands for honesty, law, order, and people above politics? My friends, the future is still in our hands, but not for long. If we act now, decisively, honestly, and boldly, we can restore our name, protect our economy, and defend our people's right to live, work, and thrive on the world stage. Let us be the generation that did not flinch when the pressure came down upon us. Let us be the citizens who chose truth over convenience, principle over profit, and country over self-interest. Because if we lead with integrity, my Straight Talk family, we won't need to beg for international respect. We will command it, and we must now do that because our federation is at a crossroads. It's begging for leadership. Yes, we need leadership with integrity. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines momentarily and entertain your calls and your emails. I will implore you, as I always do, to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of doing and or saying those things, let us, my Straight Talk family, strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, at 7 before the 9 o'clock hour, we go straight to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liber.
Good night, my dear.
The quote for this evening.
Yes, that sounds like the famous... what's the term? Quota is the right term? I'm trying to find a term. Always good to hear you.
A single lie destroys a whole reputation of integrity.
Whole reputation of integrity, yes.
Yes. I repeat, a single lie destroyed a whole reputation of integrity. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening as well, my Straight Talk family. Simple but very, very profound. A single lie destroyed a whole reputation. Whole reputation, is it? I hope I got that right, my Straight Talk family. A single lie destroyed a whole reputation. Okay. If I didn't have that right, I'm sure my good friend from across the Narrows would call back. But my Straight Talk family, it's 5 before the 9 o'clock hour. Our lines are open. We will entertain your calls, your emails. And if you're so minded, call in. Listen, the numbers, again, especially for the first timers, are on your monitors. We are discussing a very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. Caller, you there?
Mr. Liber, I repeat in the
yes,
quotation.
Sorry about that. Yes.
A single lie destroyed a whole reputation of integrity.
Oh, of integrity. I forgot that. Thanks for calling back. I know
you're welcome.
Something was missing. Thank you very much. You know, sometimes, every time I hear this lady, I pray. I don't see things like shorthand and so nowadays. So everybody have their recorders and whatever other instruments to use. But, you know, days gone by, you see the secretaries really doing their shorthand and then translating it for us. But a single lie destroyed a whole reputation of integrity. I think I got that right now. Yes, it's 4 before the 9 o'clock hour. I promised I was going to drop a few my observations so I can give you some more time to dialogue. Somewhat advanced that I should try and curtail my observations so I can get a little more participation from our viewers. Caller, you're live. Good night.
Mr. Straight Talk.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Sí. Dito. How are you, my brother?
I am peaceful, my brother. I'm peaceful. Very
I
peaceful.
have no idea why we have a prime minister can lie like when you try to up nuts to make when the man used to sell cattle. I don't know why that man can tell so much. And you tell them bold face in front of everybody and nobody even say,
Yes,
you know,
bold,
how
face.
you going to sit down there and you know that the Prime Minister call out and say all these things and he go up there and you say nothing goes on. He is the first doing this.
Yeah.
And the chain man, yes. Windful. But you know, they all in the same peace pad, so you can't do nothing about it. Just let me say good night to my wonderful people. Good night, my lovely niece, wherever you are. You just enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself and text the screen. Good night, my brother Alvin and his son, Jordan and Ellis, and my wonderful niece Abigail and family. I want you guys to enjoy yourself. And Mrs. Lyla, take care, man. We're going to get together. Mr. Straight Talk, I was going to ask you to, because I hear about this young girl and then it start being a board, but then here you bring her on tonight. Man, that's sad. But you know, we just got to be strong and we just got to do what we got to do to get some kind of information on her. But, you know, I just hear something there about someone in Trinidad get murdered the same way because of something went down wrong. But you know, you just got to continue to ask God to give you strength to go through. That all will be well at the end of the day. So that said it for that moment. I want to just wish her the best and tell her just be strong, you know. God has a way of working out things and doing worry ahead. Just be patient and let God do what He's going to do, and she will get the victory. Mr. Straight Talk, what about the sheep lady? When last you hear from her?
That's a long time. That's the lady from St. Peter's?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Okay.
She would have
I'll give you some homework to do about the policeman, the guy who had killed the doctor. You still didn't get it done?
I haven't got that information as yet. That's my bad.
Okay.
I apologize.
Hey, listen, Mr. Straight Talk, if me got so much I don't know to do and me have no potatoes to peel, you have all the potatoes to peel. So just take your time. That's all I can say. Yes, you see, we depend upon you to bring us the news. Just last week, someone called me and tell me what's going down in with Trump and this and that. And I said, listen, you are wrong. Listen here. Because of you sharing the information and I could have told them they're wrong and tell them, no, it's not so. This is what's going on. Nothing went down like that. And they didn't want to believe me, but then they just had to calm down because I tell them, no, you know, don't believe everything you hear people saying. Just listen, because Straight Talk can give me good information. And I tell them I'm going to follow your footsteps one day at a time, because you know when you come under here, you're going to bring things straight. So we are going on the corner that we can see. We know that you already went on and you bring it to pass. I mean, out to us, and we're going to just enjoy what you bring to us. So, Mr. Straight Talk, I just want you to enjoy yourself and do what you have to do. You are doing a wonderful job. Just keep doing what you got to do, because we depend upon you to bring us the truth. Understand? And to Mr. Welcome there, who talking about boy that someone who corrupt wanted should drop out and give another man a chance. Mr. Welcome, everybody was glad when Trump was in his politics and they were calling him this, that. But look who is fixing what someone else mash up. Mr. Straight Talk, I have to give you a damn. I have to let you know something next week when I come back. Man, you're going to laugh, but this is what happened up here. And you're going to laugh about it because it's so entertaining. So, Mr. Straight Talk, I think I said enough for tonight. Take care of yourself. Be good. Till we see you when I see you. See you soon. Abracadabra.
Yes, my brother from another mother. Always good to hear you as well. We go straight back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, greetings, brother Patches. Pleasant good night.
Good night, my brother. Greetings.
Yeah, pleasant good night to the listening audience here in the Federation and those listening via the internet. You know, your thesis, it's just a bad calling the kettle black politics, local politics. Everybody accusing everybody of doing the same thing, right? Telling lie and deceiving people. I say we need to repent and atone for our sins. settle our differences here because the whole world see Mr. Trump attack Iran. I hope when he attack us, because remember, the MSR man said the Justice Department got the information. Right? And everybody, all the politicians in it, Mark in it, Doug in it, Timothy in it, and the government in it. So we can continue going on the road.
So what is your recommended solution?
I said we need to repent. Everybody we need to repent and atone for our sins.
Repent and then what?
And then if you go back to do bad, then you're against us.
So let me see if I get you right. So they must come to the nation and say, "I'm sorry, I robbed you of the millions of dollars."
Yeah, not only are we, everybody got to be involved.
Yes, so
everybody got to be involved.
So this minister who has, we are told, $70 million in a bank account in Dubai, he must come to the country and say, "I am sorry, I creamed off millions of dollars from the country.
And bring back the money too."
And bring back the money, okay.
Yeah, okay, no, okay. No, last week, you said, right, that we are a terrorist list with Afghanistan and Yemen and all them places. Nelson Mandela was a terrorist before Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. Nelson Mandela, when he was president, he was on the terrorist list for America. Nelson Mandela was the number one terrorist in the world.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you, Raskalunji, but you can't just pick up that reference and throw it out like that. I mean, it's because you have to tell the whole story about apartheid and the issues. That's
the point I'm making.
But we don't have time for that.
Yeah, but the point I'm making, the label who don't want terrorists. Trump is a convicted felon. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
The labeling us out right now, we're going along with the narrative, right? And I realize that all of us in the same boat. Because when the ready force is here, we attack Iran. It's white supremacy in full flight, my brethren. They come in at us here every print. You know about every print and what you say.
Okay.
They want to put us back on the plantation. And the plan is there.
Well, just like, okay. You have to wait till Eric Prince, our current Prime Minister, wants to have planned peppers. He say he wants.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I'm saying, my brother. You see,
another man, a friend of yours, wants us to go pick salt. At the salt pan. So what are you talking about?
You see, you're referencing all of that.
I'm referencing the facts. I'm not.
Yeah, you're referencing.
I'm not fabricating. I'm not making them up. I'm not telling you what's happening.
But yeah. I'm not making up. When Trump's ready to move on us, is all us going to be in the same boat?
I don't doubt you.
Because they come here. Mm-hmm. They come in. So the point I'm making, my brethren, instead of we blaming and fighting, let me resolve our contradictions among ourselves.
Okay, my brother, I got you loud and clear.
Our granny said, Abraham chose the leader, follow the leader. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people think this ain't a black and white issue.
Okay.
Because the same thing they're doing to you and they're going to do to us.
Okay, my brother Ras Kalunji, I hear your passion. I've heard you. I gave you some extra time. I'm sure many don't agree with you, but you're entitled to your view. You're entitled to the view. But I think.
But he shouldn't absolve me. Just watch.
I look forward to that, my brother. Thanks a lot for your contribution, as usual. Ras Kalunji and his view of repenting. Something we perhaps have to consider. If that, I asked him if that, I almost said, if that member in cabinet who is alleged to have is in possession of an account bearing an amount of $70 million in Dubai, And he says all he has to do is apologize, bring back the money, and perhaps we vote him back into office. What do you think about that, my Straight Dog family? Anyway, it's 7 past the 9 o'clock hour, and I go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Mr. Liber, good evening.
Good evening, mate.
This is Kalikwan Ann.
Kalikwan's.
How are you this evening?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
When the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis go to India, who money paying for those plane flight for he and the cabal? Who money paying for those flights?
Our money.
People tax money.
Yes.
The judge, when he say he giving to poor people, the judge was on there a long time. And they get this amount, a lump of money. And the man from New Ground tell him, don't give the poor people all that money. Let me take a cut out of it and raise our money. They only were $250. But he must give $10,000 every month to tell him what, let her go play pitstone and marble. He telling him a load of stupidness. That man from New Ground. So he's an advisor for the Prime Minister. Why he never call Timothy, Dougie, what his name?
Who is this man
Sam Kanda?
From Newton Ground? You keep
Sam Kanda to be he advisor.
Who is this man from Newton Ground as advisor? Are you at liberty to call it, or are you fabricating that? If he's an advisor, means he's a public servant. So who is he?
Mr. Edinburgh.
Oh, he's from Newton Ground? I thought he was from St. Paul's.
No.
He from Newton Ground?
Yes.
You mean he live in Newton Ground?
Something so.
Okay.
He telling the Prime Minister nonsense.
Okay.
The people must think it and need it worth $250. The Prime Minister say he cannot do nothing with the price control in the supermarket. But he must take up $10,000 and give the man from New Ground. But the people think it and Nevis can't see the further and the face. When he in a campaign, you know what he tell them? You know what he tell them? He gonna give them $1,000 from the 500 where Timothy give them. And up to now he not give them. He's something like Trump. They come here who suck people blood. They ain't have nothing good for people. They own people and talk about them. Okay. They ain't have nothing good for poor people. Poor people catching real hell in this country. $250 ain't no money to go in the supermarket. That is $100. Could go in the supermarket today. $100 just like $10. And cost of living getting higher than see. The Prime Minister need to come out and do better. Why you never call Timothy Dougie? Cause Dougie not like him. He should have called one of them to do the advisors work with him. And not the man from Yonggwang.
Okay.
I look at him the other day. I will want the government change. Let all of them pack up and go. Put on and bagay. Let them go.
Okay.
Because they do nothing good in this country. But corruption and all kind of, I don't even know what to say. They need to go, Mr. Liber.
Yes.
They ain't bringing on good.
Yes, thanks.
The more them got to the pothole, they're not for the poor people.
Okay.
Parents got the children, them going to school and money to without relish eating in the bread.
Okay, got you loud and clear, Kali Kwazan, and thanks for your contribution as usual. And have yourself a wonderful night.
Mr. Liber, let me tell you this here. That commissioner, you know, I see something going on, you know, that commissioner there, you know, he ain't decided to give my brother the justice, you know. But courts can make water go up hill, you know. Now let you feel like everything done and everything calm down and they start talk. Because when calm are ready for him and when calm are ready for the officer there, they're going to know.
But I don't want to prolong this call, but let me ask you a question, right? Your brother is still in the force?
Is he still in the force?
Yes.
I don't believe so.
Your brother's not in the force any longer?
No. That's why they're supposed to respect it wrong.
He's not a police any longer?
Not a police, an inspector.
But he's retired?
I think so.
You don't speak with him?
Yes, I just speak to him. I just tell him, how come you write to the commissioner and he ain't give you back no answer?
Oh, he wrote to the commissioner?
He needs justice for his son.
He wrote to the commissioner about his son?
Yes, and he ain't answer him up to now.
Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot for your contribution. I trust that this matter will be resolved. I believe it's been wrong.
But he better hurry up. He better hurry up because he's not going on, sir.
Okay, my dear. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot again. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Always so passionate, and it's a very complex case. If this Khaliquan's aunt comes every week about it, and as I said, I do recall reading a release from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, which has said otherwise. Now you're saying that your brother Inspector, I can call his name, Bergen, whose son in fact died, did in fact write to the commissioner. But I think I'm going to do some investigation on that matter. I never did except to read the report, but it keeps coming up, and I think I owe you, my Straight Dog family, at least to try to find the explanation. I did in fact inquire about it, and I got from a reliable source that the release from the police was factual, but now I've heard that other side, I think I will do some investigation myself. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller?
Yes. Good night,
good night, sir.
Brother
I'm sorry
Patrick.
about that. Good night.
My name is Winston Welcome. And I will try to be humble and profoundly calm. First of all, I must say, my heart goes out to the family of the young lady who is missing. And I pray to God that she will be found holy, and the smile and the tears of anyone who shed will be dried up in happiness. Moving forward, I know my listeners know what I stand for and what I already announced, and I still in focus and motion of such. I just like to let the people know that the aim of Winston Welcome is to make the best that ever to come moving forward for all my people. Whether you for me or you against me, we are humans. Not a competition without an opposition. And I know there are allegations, or there will be allegations that comes up to cancel me out, because I'm probably not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, but sometimes we got to give a chance to the dumb, and not always those people in that kind of recognition. Everyone deserves a chance, and like you said, we are looking for people with character and dignity and empathy, a person who cares and a person who shares. I am one of those persons. I'm not the only one. So my people, it's not I'm looking for money or power. I came to the United States for a purpose. I am glad I did that, and I didn't want to be there in the midst of the instant mockery, dishonesty, beat down behavior that is going on right now. And this is the moment I can say, thank God that I'm here. And I've learned to come back with the dignity that one needs. By the way, my dignity is your dignity and your dignity is mine. We are all equal. And I hope one will be mindful and consider such. Whatever the needs are, I will try my utmost best should I be elected, whether it's one seat or independents, other independents enter this upcoming 2027 election. May God bless the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and continue to. I will yield here, and I will try to come back in again with something of interest that is hurting us. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. A single lie destroyed a whole reputation of integrity. That's my quotation for tonight. And this email reads, recently, Mr. Kenny Anthony, the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia and opposition leader of St. Lucia, publicly stated that he will not be running again in the constituency he represents come the next elections. I was amazed when he said he will not be campaigning nor helping his successor to win the seat either. He was of the opinion that his successor should win the seat by himself. I was further enthralled when he called upon the authorities not to name anything after him. No street, no highway, no roads, no buildings. Kenny Anthony said, this is a clear demonstration of a politician who had country about himself and gave human service to St. Lucia and was not interested in any personal reward for himself. This is commendable and should be exemplified by the Labour current leaders of this federation. Why is government thinking of giving a man a knighthood whose political record has been blemished by numerous controversies during his reign? His outlandish statement about public debt in the bottom was very proud to say he was born bad, stating that if given the opportunity, he would sell one of our citizens. The appeal court kicked him out of the parliament for breaching the constitution for having 2 passports. And what is the status with that Gatwick Airport money case in England? We want to know. It was Michael Powell who made the phrase that swearing out is easier than swearing in, with reference to the Anthony Ribeiro and Kennedy Simmons by-election case. When Ribeiro was sworn out of the parliament, he was so embarrassed that he ran to Canada and never returned. A former French president, Nicolas Sarkozy, was jailed last week for bribing a judge, and all his accolades he received during his presidency had to be relinquished. In 1989, President Nicolae Cosica of Romania suffered a serious fate. He was deposed, tried and executed for a number of wrongdoings while in office. The Queen had to remove all his photographs from Buckingham Palace in disgrace. Mr. Lyman, I ain't grudge a soul for what they get. I'm not deserving of it. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your life. Hello, caller.
Hi, Patrice. Hi, Patrice. Good night.
How about though, my dear? Good night.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm saying to that caller there, he had a man run for independent. One election he run independent and he was well known. A man from Sandy Point run for election and he was well known and he get 1 vote and they say the vote is he vote for himself. Could imagine the caller, only 1 vote he will get for when he run independent. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. Was that Gunton Lewis, was it? Wasn't it there? Okay. Okay, Mr. Caller, I was trying to find out who was independent to run in Sandy Point. Yes, my Straight Talk family, let me try to dispose of some of these emails. This email reads, okay, no, this is another email. Let's give me a break. My Straight Talk family. The recently appointed female members of the Integrity Commission is most laughable, particularly the one appointed by the so-called leader of the opposition. As far as I am concerned, in reality, the government has made 2 appointments the one by the Prime Minister and the other by the Premier, whereby depriving the real opposition members, Harris and Sean, the opportunity to choose the member from a real opposition standpoint. The Premier worked the same trick on the opposition NRP Nevis when he arbitrarily appointed the two members on the Nevis Integrity Commission, the one for the Premier and the other for the leader of the opposition. The undeniable truth is the Premier and his CCM ministers sitting in the federal opposition benches is a farce, an absurdity, and an insult to the intelligence of sensible people. Some even refer to them as the Labour government backbenchers in the parliament, while others see them as a coalition government, Labour and CCM. The two persons the Premier appointed, they are not independent-minded. They are in the Premier's sphere of influence. He has full control over them. What a corrupt, sordid federation we live in. Lord, have mercy on us. Reads this email. Caller, I thank you for holding your life. Hello, caller?
Patches, how you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Let me echo. I'm gonna echo again tonight. I'm echoing again tonight, Patches. That lady that just called in, giving Mr. Welcome some advice. Yeah, Mr. Welcome. Patches, I also heard, man, somebody ran for election and they got 0 votes. Why? Because they forgot to vote for themselves.
That's interesting.
Mr. Welcome, that's interesting, man. Come on, man. Don't forget to vote for yourself, but when you get in that booth. Patches, our leaders don't have the integrity. I'm trying to get right up on top of your thesis tonight. Our leaders don't have the required integrity. They all have failed us, no exception. Corruption in our families, corruption in our communities, and corruption in our governments. With all the money that was collected in Bastille since the inception of the CBI program, St. Kitts and Nevis should be in tip-top shape. The money did not trickle down to the working class. And I'm just going to alert the public, there was a second installment of minimum wage increase that's supposed to be coming. Is that this month or next month, Patches? We haven't been hearing any.
It was supposed to be June. No, you said.
That's what I heard. That's what I can remember. June 25th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stand corrected, but we haven't heard any narrative about that. The people got to pay attention. That 250 is over in June. The BBW wallet, the big black woman wallet, is over in June. Or the reduced VAT is over as well. Got to pay attention. Yeah, big up Kalanji tonight, man. And I keep listening, Patches. I'll get off, let somebody else come in. And if I need to come back in, I'll come back in later. The place is in a mess, and we need to clean up the mess. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot for your contribution as well. This emailer has sent me a public commentary titled Bastille High School, A Time to Listen, Time to Lead, which I have written in their capacity as an educator and community advocate. The article highlights ongoing concerns surrounding the decision to rebuild the Bastille High School on its original site, despite years of public health complaints and environmental warnings. This is not a political message of the people-centered appeal calling for transparency, national consultation, and principled leadership. I believe the media plays a critical role in shaping this national dialogue, beg your pardon, and I'm kindly asked for your support in sharing this with your audience or platform as appropriate. Thank you for your continued service to our country and for amplifying the voices of its citizens. It's It's a 3-page document. I can promise I'll perhaps read it if I find the time. If not, certainly I can. I'll try to read it tonight, my Straight Talk family. Let's see how the calls go first. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Livert. How are you?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Well, I'm trying to be peaceful. I'm learning from you. I'm walking in your footsteps. I'm not catching up to you, though, so my peacefulness is nowhere compared to yours.
Never compare yourself. You become vain and bitter, they say.
Anyhow, that's a thought. This week is a very important week in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's the music festival week.
Yes.
And as a result, I think this might be one of the few weeks where our Prime Minister remains in St. Kitts for an entire week. That's a very rare occasion. And I've been thinking about it. Simmons was in there for 15 years. Douglas was in there for 20 years. Harris was in there for 7 years. That's for 42 years.
Are you close to equipment? You close to equipment?
Kind of. What did you?
Well, I'm getting the feedback. I want the whole world to hear you, so I want you to be clear as crystal.
Let me quiet it down then.
Yeah, just listen to the telephone. Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, it's slightly better, but go ahead. Yes.
Yes, Simmons was there for 15. Douglas there for 20. Harris there for 7. And I believe, just looking at the way that things have gone over the last 3 years, it will be 3 years in a month or 2 time, that our current Prime Minister has done more traveling than the totals of those 3 Prime Ministers I just mentioned. Because he hardly spends a week in St. Kitts, whereas during their times, they spent a lot of time in St. Kitts, and other persons were delegated to travel and represent the country in different affairs. But maybe the per diem is sweet or something, and it's not. Our Prime Minister just loves to travel, or he loves being up in the air, something of the sort. What do you think is the reason? Because one man should not be able to travel at a total in 3 years what the total number of other prime ministers have done in 42 years.
Well, the per diem must be the windfall for them. I said the double it. I think it's $1,000 per day or something like that.
Yeah, I know. It has increased.
So.
And the frequency. I mean.
Yes.
With the per diem alone, they really don't even have to touch their salaries.
Yep.
At least the Prime Minister doesn't have to touch his salary. And he's not traveling empty-handed either. He carries his wife with him most times. Although she gets a per diem too.
Interesting.
But it's not fair. It's not fair to the country.
Yep.
The economy is not doing all that well, as most people recognize. And for somebody to be just blatantly spending money left, right, and center when it could be avoided is crazy. But very interesting program. We'll talk again. Are you having a show on Thursday night, or are we going music festival?
Yes, we're having a show. We're going to have our music festival here.
Okay. Plenty bacchanal.
Yes.
Okay, then. Talk to you, man.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Are you there, caller? Yes, caller, you're live. Hello, caller?
This is the Major. How are you?
Major Jones. I am peaceful, yes, Major. How about thou?
Boy, I am not so good. That I want to be like a Spanish station. But this, I can't feel this like yeah? And it just happened, as I said to you some time ago, it is a value test. Remember I tell you that? This is a value test. And what I'm saying is that let us fill up each hour with what we will have. Boy, up the moment, as they go. The life about when this is past is the right food and the life below. We got to be careful, man. You see, what has happened, so many things happen, as I say, and I listen to you to certain things and so on, and some of them is just stay silent and to keep your mouth. Because the old book said that silence is golden, but you can't be too silent. We got to make up our minds what we don't do, man. So much things happen, and it hurts. Not only alone, not me alone, but other people that I have consultation with. They say we have to set up a value, and if we can set up a value, what we going to do? It's a test we have to do. And we have to fill it up each hour. We have to fill it up each hour, especially. That once we fill it up, sometime it will last. And this, they're going to take her.
Certainly,
we have to buy up these moments, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't build up these moments, they'll go like life. They'll go about life about when they're going to life about when this last is going to be too late. When this last is going to be too late. Let us use the right food and see what life offers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Major.
Yeah.
Getting to the point, it's I guess we have to create a top list of core values and determine what we value most in life. That's perhaps another question. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Yes, thank you, Brother Patches, once again. If you will permit me to defend myself, not rudely, not out of order, but the previous caller that called, female caller that just called, she always tried to cancel me out. I am Winston Welcome. Of try to bring the due diligence to the people. Well, my lady, if you had a child who was
let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to stifle dialogue, right? But I want to. I don't want us to get down in the gutter here. Firstly, right?
No.
Please. But if I believe you're referring to a lady who said that someone who ran independent only got one vote.
Yes.
That's what you have an issue with?
I have a point to make. Well, I am not that person who ran as an independent and get one vote, and other one. I am Winston Welcome.
So she was. Sorry.
Their faith is not my faith. We all have different faiths.
Okay.
But it's better to be a trier than a failure.
Okay.
And it is dishonest to cancel out someone who is making a try. But they rather favor the thief that stole. Okay? And the thief that stole, knowing that there are other options, give that other option a chance rather than to bring back that thief that stole, to whom it may concern. And I will, if you remember the Mark Twain theory, okay, I learned that from you, and it's at the tip of my tongue when I hear a situation like that. But some people got to realize to play back and know how idiotic they sound.
Okay, my brother.
That's all I have to say in my defense.
Thank you very much.
Just think about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And this message reads, Dear Patches, good evening, sir, and a very warm greeting from Rio in Brazil. I love your show, Straight Talk. I have a question for you. How can we have leadership and integrity when our leader, aka King Liar, refused to dismiss an attorney general who willingly or that perhaps should be willfully and repeatedly defrauded the social security? That's the question in this email. This other email reads, in addition to these ministers who feel like they are ruling over a country of idiots, the people in some of these departments need real licks. The waterman say no chance of cross-contamination. And he talk about some old tanks. Well, you are. What about the intake point? Yes, he didn't mention about intake point. That is true. Is it possible that hydrocarbons can be taken in, as it will be an area with all kinds of boating activities? The EIA was a secret, and now anybody who wants it has to go to physical planning. What madness. We can't trust these people in their mad rush to prove themselves worthy. They are frustrating people. Reads this email. Yes, that's a very good point. I listened to the water sources engineer, Kwame Williams, and he spoke about the tanks, but he never spoke about the intake, as you so rightly said here. He made out the intake point. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Patches, greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm very good. A very pointed program again this night. Good to staying on that topic, because it's a topic to bring to the people. It ain't a party topic. It's a national topic. Because many of us, as soon as we hear issue, we think that, oh, you're against me. No. We got to bring everything forward for to reason as a nation. We're only 68 square miles. We ain't a million people here living amongst us. So it's best we have dialogue. It is true that the concept of democracy is universally accepted. It is, however, no less true to say that there are as many types of democracy as there are nations in the world, since the underlying spirit of each type of democracy is imparted to it by the nation that puts it into effect in its own individual and particular way. Democracy evolves by stage. It's the same thing. We are a nation in the world, Patches. So we have to know what type of democracy we should have.
Sure.
Mr. Patches, when we hear news confronting the Federation concerning the CBI, I didn't hear no U.S. reporter saying the program, the nation's them is terrorism. They said there are persons who getting passport is a threat to America. And they want that to be looked at. When you give somebody a passport, don't you want money to spend? You don't know their mind afterwards. You may get good due diligence before and clean, but you don't know the mind afterwards. So, you ain't to say, well, you must downplay what the U.S. is saying. You have to look into what the U.S. is saying. Because the economic citizens are the ones who bring confusion to national citizens of SK. And that's a fact. Yep. If a citizen leave from St. Paul's, Sandy Point, wherever they live in St. Kitts, and they go abroad, whether it's Japan, Vietnam, or wherever, whenever they're ready to leave from where they are, they say they're going home. They don't say they're going to St. Paul's. They don't say they're going to Sandy Point. They say they're going home. Citizens regard St. Kitts as their home. And they might sing this song. So, it ain't nothing about no black and white. It's about looking at the situation and the reality of what's happening about your program. Simple. Yep. With Mark Brantley, his shame is about shame. His shame. I didn't expect his political life would have come so dull. I didn't expect that. For a brilliant man of his stature, and he cannot see himself political, independent minded with the issues that is facing the country. What you want to say, Mark, as an opposition leader, and hearing something coming out from the US pertaining the nation, he cannot say something about that. Them is dumbness. The move with Kenny Anthony, Mr. Patches, that's, you find, the statesman move. You know, I expected that move, not to say resign, but I expected, especially in the, I think it was the 2020 election, I don't want to be wrong, but when our living national hero, when he makes certain comments, I always say when he gets that title stole upon him, I want to see when he come on a national issue, how he gonna stand, how he gonna stand, because I know he's very party political. And when I hear his version of what he said, I said, my God, I expected more national statesmanship with that office, with that appointment. That's what I have to say about that, Mr. Patchett. And you see, if we do not go forward with integrity, with morals, because we say we are a Christian society. And the only way to be a Christian is to walk in the footsteps of Christ. And the Bible says, ye must be born again. I like the scripture verse, because when you're born again, you shake off your old ways. You ain't say, well, you repent today and go back or do the same thing. When you're born again, you have a renewed life. So you must stand for righteousness in every way and doings. And it's amongst us, because when we're dead, what? It's when we're alive, we're supposed to do the things that the Lord wants us to do. Stand up for what is right. That's what the Lord wants us to do. Mr. Patches, you continue to be strong, stay healthy. God bless.
Thank you very much. Give thanks. I do wish you the same, my brother. I think I'm going to read this attachment that was sent earlier. It's a 3-page attachment. It's under the caption, "What We Do in Life Echoes in Eternity," by ACTS, ACTS, educator, community advocate, founder of ACTS 7 Legacy. Not politics, people. This is not about politics. This is about people. For over 5 years, the controversy surrounding the rebuilding of Bastille High School has stirred emotions, created division, and more importantly, left serious questions unanswered about the long-term health and safety of students, teachers, and nearby residents. As a citizen, educator, and advocate, I believe we need to hit pause, not to argue, but to listen. The heart of the matter. The original Bastille High School site was closed after teachers and students began suffering from alarming health issues, skin rashes, headaches, chemical exposure, symptoms, and respiratory concerns. Independent reports and multiple professional bodies warned of environmental hazards. The school was relocated. Plans were made to build elsewhere. Now, with a new government in place, construction is underway once again on the same site. Despite years of protests, public outcry, and unanswered questions. What message does this send to our people? What reassurance has been given that the issues were fully addressed? And most importantly, who gets to decide what is best for our children and their teachers? A national conversation is missing. Whether it's schools, hospitals, prisons, or parks, major national infrastructure decisions should not be made without proper consultation. Citizens deserve a say, and in this case, a national survey should have been conducted before any decision was finalized. This is not just about buildings. This is about trust. It's about engaging the people in the future of their country. A call to righteous leadership. Sometimes doing what is right means humbling ourselves and going back to the drawing board. The wise builder doesn't ignore a shaky foundation. He stops, reassesses, and rebuilds on solid ground. This moment is an opportunity for our leaders to show courageous integrity, to care more about people than politics, to choose truth over pride, to model leadership rooted in justice, humility, and wisdom. As Proverbs 16 verse 8 reminds us, better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. A constructive proposal, let me be clear. I support the urgent need for new, modern, and safe Bastia High School. Every student deserves that. But the location matters. Peace of mind matters. Public confidence matters. That is why I propose, 1, an immediate national survey to gather public opinion on whether the current site is suitable or if an alternative location should be pursued. 2, a temporary hold on construction until results of the survey and further environmental testing can be reviewed transparently. 3, a public meeting or forum for experts, educators, and families to speak directly to the nation. 4, repurposing the current site as a smart public paid parking space to ease downtown congestion and generate revenue. What we can build more than schools, we can build trust. This is not about looking back in blame, but looking forward in wisdom. Let's choose the path of consultation over confrontation, participation over presumption. Let's model a better way of leading for the sake of our students and our future. Conclusion, let the people speak. To our leaders, don't silence the people, survey them. To our citizens, speak up respectfully. This is your country. To our youth, your health and education are not bargaining chips. They are non-negotiable. This is our moment to not just rebuild the school, but to restore confidence in the way we build a nation. Written by Acts, aiming continuously to serve. That's a document forwarded to Straight Talk. Mr. Welcome, you on all the radio talk shows in St. Kitts, campaigning to be an independent candidate. I do admire and respect your ambitions and desire to be in Parliament, or even to be the first Prime Minister from Mansions Village, if there is a tie between the 2 or 3 parties and Welcome wins his seat. Then you can be the tiebreaker and become the Prime Minister. However, on the other hand, Mr. Welcome, if you get 5 votes, I will give you $1,000 to compensate you for the loss of your deposit. Reads this email. That's one cheeky. But my Straight Talk family, at 10 before the 10 o'clock hour, and we normally have our programs on a Monday and a Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. We looked at our thesis for the night, the Federation at a Crossroads. We need leadership with integrity. I address you tonight, my people, at a critical juncture in the life of our nation. A time marked by uncertainty, by deep public concern, and by growing international scrutiny. The atmosphere in our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is thick with anxiety, and understandably so. The source of much of this unease lies in a matter that has for years been both a cornerstone of our economic strategy and a source of national debate, our citizenship by investment program. For decades, this program has offered a vital source of revenue, allowing us to invest in infrastructure, support public services, and weather global economic storms. It has provided an alternative path to resilience for a small island state like St. Kitts and Nevis with limited natural resources. Yet today, that same program finds itself under the harsh spotlight of international powers. We are faced with serious warnings and potential consequences from global partners, including the possibility of visa restrictions to the United States and the European Union. And these are not hollow threats. They represent a looming risk that could affect our people's freedom of a movement, our economic stability, and our international reputation. This is not merely a policy issue, my people. It's a national issue, as it affects every Kittitian and every Nevisian. It touches our students studying abroad, our business people engaging in global commerce, our families maintaining ties across borders, and our tourism industry, which thrives on international confidence. We must ask ourselves, how did we reach to this point? What are the concerns being raised by our international partners? And most importantly, how do we navigate forward, protecting our sovereignty and economic interests while restoring confidence in our global relationships? And I implore us all to start that honest conversation when our leader just lies. We have a leader who lies like when horse is trotting, as my grandmother said. And I recall telling you about Go Bells. And our leader obviously read Go Bells, because the view or opinion of Go Bells, if you lie once, it remains a lie. But if you lie 1,000 times, it becomes the truth. And you for some time been lying about this.
The last administration, when the then Prime Minister was asked about CBI, how many persons, I'm the only Prime Minister who has given these numbers. He said it's an industry secret. You cannot be doing citizenship of a country and say it's an industry secret. The people have a right to know. And that is why last December I gave the numbers so people can know exactly what we have been doing. That is why I've been so transparent with our people. Never again would it be said that the CBI program is an industry secret. It is not. It is the business of the people, and I criticize severely the former administration for hiding the information from the people. The lack of transparency and the lack of integrity, those things call a lot of things into question. But with me and with this administration and with this cabinet and with my colleagues, we are making sure that we stick to our principles of transparency and integrity, and the CBI is no exception.
But the truth is, my Shidog family, it is the integrity of Prime Minister Drew that has been called into question. Because in fact, it was Timothy Harris on the Team Unity Administration who first provided the CBI data spanning 10 years of the Douglas Labour administration. And Straight Talk always provide you the facts. And these are the facts.
As at the 31st of December 2015, there were 10,777 primary passports issued under the citizenship program. In 2005, 6 were issued, 2006, 19, 2007, 75, 2008, 202, 2009, 292, 2010, 664, 2011, 1,092, 2012, 1,758, 2013, 2,044, 2014, 2,329, 2015, 2,296, for a total of 10,777 passports. Mr. Speaker, who have been the beneficiary nationalities to our passports. The number of investment passports are distributed over 127 countries across all continents, with the Asian and European continents being the more popular holders or applicants to our passport scheme. Across that broad range of countries, the number of passports issued over the relevant period 2005 to 2015 ranged from 1 to 2,272 to any one country. Mr. Speaker, that is the data that for a very long time the country had been asking about.
And that's January 2016. So to put it bluntly, as an elder said to me, and quite brilliantly she said, these stories and lies that are told daily by Terence Michael Drew taste like a scoop of poop in an ice cream cone. Drew can dress up his lies however he wants. He can wrap them up in sweet words. He can add sprinkles of distraction, serve them in a smile or his ugly grin. But if the core is rotten, we can all taste it. We can feel it. And we are tired of being fed lies disguised as comfort. Dr. July told us that the airport expansion has only approved 60 shares. 60 shares for feasibility studies, my straight dog family. Could you imagine some almost $40 million for feasibility studies?
Mr. Prime Minister, yes. Sean Dixon, St. Kitts Nevis Observer. The Caribbean Infrastructure Development Corporation is advertising as the approved public benefactor of the St. Kitts Airport expansion project. However, no official communication has been made to the public about this partnership. Could you clarify the nature of the relationship with the government and CIDC, and the total cost of the airport expansion, the value or percentage of shares offered under the CBI program, and how this arrangement differs from the prison project that you previously opposed?
Now, with respect to CIDC, now CIDC has what you call just the planning stage of the airport. I think they got a very limited number of shares to do the plan and the structuring of the airport. In the airport is about 60-something shares. 60-something at this stage. 60-something. Just for the feasibility study and stuff. Nothing to do with the construction of the airport itself.
But my straight talk family, 60-something according to Drew, equates to some $15 million, because each share is sold at $250,000 US, and $50 million US, so $40 million for shares for a feasibility study. What a blatant lie, my straight talk family. He promised in opposition he was going to subsidize the cost of living if he had the opportunity. He said this:
we're going to make sure that your dollar can go further, that your dollar can buy more. And so we're going to temper the cost, and we're going to subsidize what we have to subsidize in the first 6 months. If no recovery in the economy, then we'll extend it. But you should not be able to go to the supermarket with $100 and can't come out with a good shopping. That will not happen here in St. Kitts and Nevis under Labour. We will control the cost of goods and fuel here in St. Kitts.
But he himself told us what's happening now. Under his Labour, he said this.
Just tonight, I was asked by the Prime Minister, your leader, what is the cost of a pound of chicken in St. Kitts? Well, of course, I asked my press secretary to take a look. And I reflected and wondered why the Prime Minister was asking such a question. And it's because I am thinking in my own mind that the cost of chicken might be going up and might be affecting the pockets of the people in Barbados. That's a possibility. And that is as a result of imported inflation. Of course, that is my reasoning as to why she may have asked the question. Could have been something different. But as I reflect on it, we in St. Kitts and Nevis are also facing the same challenge of inflation. People are now making memes that I used to go to the supermarket with $100 and I couldn't fit on a bus or put it in my car trunk. Now when I go with $100, the child can carry how much things I can buy.
And that's what he said would not happen under his watch. It is happening. Patches reads this final email. This present administration showing just how petty they are with a lot of these decisions they're making. The Bassi High School issue as a prime example. Again, through their short-sightedness and pettiness, have overlooked a wonderful opportunity to give the Federation something greater. All we can say is that the fate of our children and the future of education in this country is being determined by emotions and nostalgia. Reads that email. And as we wrap tonight's program, my Straight Dog family, we conclude by really ensuring or recommending, my Straight Dog family, as we have no opposition, our opposition leader has been neutralized or he has been shot by the Prime Minister, my Straight Dog family.
There's a man who came over to St. Kitts and he think he could lever him out in St. Kitts as much as he wants. But tell him, the springtime crew ain't take that light, The springtime crew ain't take that light, The man come over St. Kitts and talk about his sheriff. But tell him, when the springtime crew done with him, neither he nor none of them gonna left standing because it's one shot we got for the sheriff.
One shot Mark Brantley got from July. And I must remind you in closing, my Straight Dog family, about the kidnapping case that's pending in the United Kingdom. It's listed on your screens. And you see it involves a recently appointed High Commissioner of St. Kitts to India. His name is Gurdip Devbhat. And as I said earlier, I'll repeat, a man is innocent until proven guilty. But there must be some special relationship between Terence Michael Jew and Dev Gurdip. And we have come to that conclusion because rational thinking leaders would ensure that with a serious pending matter in court, such an appointment would be deferred. But of course, it was not. all we can call this, my Straight Talk family, is the naked arrogance of Terence Michael Drew, our Prime Minister. To a point, they've got it bad at this time as the St. Kitts Nevis High Commissioner to India, after paying him and continuing to pay him millions of dollars from the sale of our passports. And we conclude here tonight that we are at a crossroads. And I say this with no water in my mouth. We must choose between two paths. Continue down the current slippery road with Terence Michael Drew, risking isolation, economic decline, and loss of credibility. Or we can choose a harder, braver path: reform, transparency, and national renewal. That means reforming the CBI program from the ground up, establishing independent oversight, real international vetting, and a commitment to full transparency. That means refusing to sell our dignity, no matter how tempting the dollar. And most of all, it means electing leaders who serve the people and not themselves. My friends, the future is still in our hands, but not for long. We must act now, decisively, honestly, and boldly, to restore our name, protect our economy, and defend our people's right to live, work, and thrive on the world stage. Let us be the generation that didn't flinch when the pressure came. Let us be the citizens who choose truth over convenience, principle over profit, and country over self-interest. Because, my Straight Talk family, if we lead with integrity, we won't need to beg for international respect. We will command it. And we'll move our federation that's currently at the crossroads, and we'll find leadership with integrity. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I'm not going to change it. But I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. As always, I want to thank you, the many viewers, those who just listen, those who sent emails, those who called. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. Until we connect on Thursday, yes, we will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until then, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food